Hey everyone! Welcome to another episode of Nighttime Mics. I'm Sarah, and I'm sitting here with my good friend Mike. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, Sarah. I'm doing great. Honestly, I'm feeling a bit more energetic than usual today. I think it's because I finally stepped out of my bubble this morning and tried something new.
Oh, really? Don't tell me you finally tried that weird green juice from the shop on the corner.
No, not the green juice. Not yet, anyway. I actually went to that new library that just opened up across town. You know, the one with the huge glass windows?
Oh, I know the one. It looks like a giant ice cube from the outside. How was it?
It was incredible. It felt like walking into the future. But it actually got me thinking about our topic for today, new places. Why we love them, why they sometimes scare us, and why it's so important to keep finding them.
That is a perfect topic. I've actually been thinking a lot about this lately. There's a specific feeling you get when you're in a new place, right? Like your brain suddenly wakes up because it doesn't recognize anything.
Exactly. It's like you're on autopilot when you're at home or at your usual office. You don't even think about where the door is or how the coffee machine works. But in a new place, you have to figure out every little thing.
I know, right? It's exhausting, but also really exciting. I remember when I first traveled to London by myself. I was 20, and I thought I was so brave. But the moment I stepped off the plane, I realized I had no idea how the tube worked. I stood there staring at the map for like 20 minutes.
No way. London is huge. Did you feel overwhelmed?
Totally. I almost wanted to give up and just take a taxi to the hotel, but those are so expensive there. I had to force myself to stay calm and look at the signs. Eventually, a very kind woman saw my confused face and helped me out. She said, "It's not as scary as it looks, love."
That's so nice. It's funny how a stranger's kindness can totally change your mood in a new place. I had a similar experience when I moved to this city for my first job. I was 22 and I didn't know a single person here.
I can't imagine moving to a big city without knowing anyone. How did you cope with that?
It was tough at first. I spent the first week just walking around my neighborhood. I made a rule for myself. Every day I had to enter one shop or building I'd never been in before. One day it was a bookstore. The next day it was a tiny bakery. Another day it was a dry cleaner.
That's a really cool rule. Did it help you feel more at home?
It really did. By the end of the month, the guy at the bakery knew I liked cinnamon rolls, and the librarian recognized me. It turned the new place into my place. I think that's the secret, Sarah. You have to turn the unknown into the familiar.
That's interesting. But do you think we sometimes lose something when a place becomes too familiar? Like, do we stop noticing the beauty because we see it every day?
That's a great point. I think we do. We get used to things. The amazing view from your window just becomes the window. That's why I think we need to keep traveling, or at least keep exploring. Have you ever been to a place that felt completely different from anything you'd ever seen?
Oh, definitely. For me, that was Iceland. I went there 2 years ago. Mike, I'm telling you, it's like another planet. There are these black sand beaches and giant waterfalls everywhere. It doesn't look like Earth.
No way. I've seen pictures of those black beaches. Is the sand actually black?
It is. It's volcanic. I remember standing there and the wind was so strong I could barely stand up. I felt so small, but in a good way. It made all my problems at home seem so tiny and unimportant.
I love that feeling. It's like a perspective shift. You realize the world is so much bigger than your daily stress. Did you find it hard to get around there?
A little bit. We rented a car and the roads can be quite tricky. One time we came up with the bright idea to drive to a remote lighthouse at night. We got completely lost because the GPS lost signal.
Oh no, that sounds like the start of a horror movie. What did you do?
We didn't panic, luckily. We just followed the road back the way we came until we found a small gas station. The person working there was so helpful. They drew us a map on a paper napkin. We never found the lighthouse, but we found a really cool local diner instead.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes the wrong turn leads to the best story. I think people are too afraid of getting lost these days because of smartphones. We always want to know exactly where we are.
I agree. We rely on technology way too much. Sometimes the best way to experience a new place is to just turn off the phone and walk. Have you ever tried that?
I have, actually. When I was visiting Prague, I decided to spend a whole afternoon just walking through the narrow streets without looking at a map. I ended up finding this tiny little jazz club in a basement. It wasn't in any of the guidebooks.
That sounds magical. Was the music good?
It was incredible. There were only about 10 people there, and the atmosphere was so intimate. If I had followed a GPS, I would have stayed on the main tourist streets and missed it completely.
That's the thing about tourist traps. They are easy to find, but they don't always give you the soul of a place. You have to dig a little deeper to find the real stuff.
Exactly. But let's talk about the other side of it. Do you ever get homesick when you're in a new place for too long?
Honestly, yes. I love traveling, but after about 2 weeks, I start to miss my own bed and my coffee mug. It's weird, right? I miss a mug.
Not weird at all. I miss my pillow. No matter how fancy a hotel is, the pillows are never right. But I think homesickness is just a sign that you have a place you love. It's not a bad thing.
That's a nice way to look at it. It's like a balance. You go away to appreciate the world, and you come back to appreciate what you have.
Totally. But what about moving permanently? You've lived in this city for a while now. Would you ever consider moving somewhere completely different? Like moving to a farm in the middle of nowhere?
A farm? Mike, look at me. I'm not exactly a farmer type. I think I'd last about 2 days before I started crying because there was no high-speed internet.
Fair point. But maybe a different city. Somewhere like Tokyo or New York?
Tokyo would be fascinating. The culture is so different. I think it would be a huge challenge to figure out the social rules there. I'd be so afraid of being rude by accident.
I know what you mean. I've heard that in Japan there are a lot of small customs that are really important. But I think people are usually understanding if they see you're trying.
True. I think the key to any new place is respect. If you go in with an open heart and you're polite, most people will be happy to help you out.
Definitely. You know, I read an article recently that said going to new places actually makes you smarter. It forces your brain to create new neural pathways because you're constantly learning.
That makes so much sense. It's like a workout for your brain. If you do the same thing every day, your brain gets lazy. But a new place is like a puzzle that you have to solve.
Exactly. Even simple things like figuring out how to pay for a bus ticket in a different country or learning how to say thank you in a new language, it all adds up.
I actually enjoy learning the basic phrases. Hello, please, thank you, and where is the bathroom? Those are the essentials.
Especially the bathroom one. That's a lifesaver. But really, even just trying to speak a few words of the local language goes a long way. It shows that you're not just a tourist, but a guest.
I love that. A guest, not just a tourist. That's a great philosophy.
Thanks. I just came up with it. But seriously, Sarah, what's a place you've never been to that you're actually a bit scared of?
That's a deep question. I think maybe the Amazon rainforest. I've always wanted to see the nature there, but the bugs? No way. I've seen pictures of spiders the size of dinner plates. I don't think I could handle that.
Oh, I'm with you on that one. I love nature, but I prefer nature that doesn't want to eat me. I'd probably stick to the mountains. I've always wanted to visit the Swiss Alps.
The Alps. That would be beautiful. Imagine waking up and seeing those huge snowy peaks every morning.
It would be like a dream. But then again, I'd have to figure out how to ski. I went skiing once when I was a kid and I ended up upside down in a bush.
Oh no, did you give up after that?
Pretty much. I decided that my feet belong on flat ground. But maybe if I were in a new place, I'd be more willing to try again. There's something about being away from home that makes you feel like a different person.
I know exactly what you mean. When no one knows who you are, you can be whoever you want. You can be the brave version of yourself. At home, people expect you to be a certain way. But in a new city, you're just a stranger. It's very freeing.
It really is. You can reinvent yourself. I remember a friend of mine moved to Australia for a year. Before he left, he was very shy and quiet. When he came back, he was the most outgoing guy I knew. He said that because he had to make all new friends, he just decided to act like an extrovert until he actually became one.
No way. That's amazing. It's like fake it till you make it.
Exactly. He had to step out of his comfort zone so many times that his comfort zone eventually just got bigger.
That's a great way to put it. Your comfort zone grows. I think that's why some people are addicted to travel. They love that feeling of growth.
I can see that. But it can be expensive, right? Not everyone can afford to fly to Australia or Iceland every year.
That's true. But I don't think you have to go far to find a new place. Like you said with the library today, or even just taking a different route to work.
Right.
I actually tried a mystery walk last weekend. I walked out of my front door and flipped a coin at every corner. Heads meant turn right, tails meant turn left.
That is so cool. Where did you end up?
I ended up in a part of the city I'd never seen before. There was this beautiful old park with a fountain and some people playing chess. It was only 2 miles from my house, but I felt like I was in a different town.
Wow. I've lived here for years and I've never heard of a park with chess players. We really do get stuck in our routines, don't we?
We really do. We go to the same grocery store, the same gym, the same cafe. It's comfortable, but it's a bit like living in a bubble.
So how do we break the bubble without spending a lot of money?
Well, the mystery walk is a good start. Or even just looking for free events in your city. There are always art galleries, local markets, or outdoor concerts that we usually ignore because we think we're too busy.
You're right. I think we should make a pact, Mike. Once a week, we have to visit one new place in our own city and tell each other about it.
I'm in. That sounds like a fun challenge. It'll give us something to talk about on the next podcast, too.
Definitely. But it has to be a real place. You can't just say you went to a new website on the internet.
Fine. No digital places. It has to be a physical location. Deal.
Deal. So for our listeners, what would you say is the first step if someone feels stuck in their routine?
I'd say start small. You don't have to book a flight to Paris tomorrow. Just find a different place to eat lunch or go to a different park to read your book. The goal is just to change your scenery.
That's great advice. And don't be afraid if it feels a little awkward at first. Being the new person is just a temporary phase.
Exactly. Everyone was new once. Even the people who look like they belong there perfectly. They had a first day too.
I think people often forget that. We see someone who looks very confident in a coffee shop or a gym, and we think, wow, they must have always been here. But they probably felt just as lost as we do on their first day.
Totally. It's all about building confidence. The more new places you visit, the easier it gets to handle the next one. It's a skill, like anything else.
That's so true. I remember my first time driving in a new city. I was so nervous, my hands were shaking on the steering wheel. But now, I've driven in 3 different countries. I still get a bit nervous, but I know I can handle it.
See? You've built up that adventure muscle.
Adventure muscle. I like that. I'm going to start using that phrase.
It's yours. But seriously, Sarah, I think it's important to talk about the feeling of a place. Have you ever walked into a new place and just immediately felt like you belonged there?
Yes, it's the strangest thing. It happened to me in a small town in Italy. I'd never been there before, but the moment I walked into the main square, I felt so peaceful. It was like my soul recognized it.
That's incredible. People call that topophilia. It's the love of a specific place. Some places just click with our personalities.
Topophilia. That's a beautiful word. I guess that's the goal, isn't it? To find the places that make us feel like the best version of ourselves.
I think so. Whether it's a big city, a quiet forest, or just a really nice library with giant glass windows.
You're really obsessed with that library, aren't you?
I'm telling you, Sarah, you have to see it. It's life-changing.
Okay, I'll go this weekend, I promise.
Good. You won't regret it. But what about you? What's on your schedule for the weekend? Any other new places?
Well, there's a new exhibition at the museum downtown about ancient civilizations. I've been meaning to check it out. I love looking at old tools and jewelry. It makes me wonder what life was like for people thousands of years ago.
That sounds fascinating. It's like traveling through time instead of space.
Exactly. A museum is a new place that's full of old places. It's like a double win.
You're right. I've always liked museums, but I sometimes find them a bit tiring. There's so much to look at. After an hour, my brain just says, okay, that's enough history for today.
I get that. You have to take it in small doses. I usually pick one room and really spend time there instead of trying to see the whole building in one day.
That's a smart way to do it. I usually try to see everything and I end up just running past the statues.
Slow down, Mike. The statues aren't going anywhere. They've been there for 2,000 years. They can wait another 10 minutes for you to look at them.
Point taken. I'll try to be more Sarah and less Mike next time I go to a museum.
Hey, being Mike is fine too. Your enthusiasm is what makes our trips fun. I remember when we went to that street food festival last year, you wanted to try every single stall.
Oh man, that was a great day. I think I ate about 5 different types of tacos. That was a new place for my stomach for sure.
And you were so happy. That's the joy of new places. They provide new flavors, new smells, and new sounds. It's a total sensory experience.
It really is. I think that's why food is such a big part of travel.
When you eat the food of a place, you're literally taking the place into your body.
That's a bit poetic, Mike. You're being very deep today. Is there something in that library's air?
Maybe, or maybe it's just the coffee. But honestly, Sarah, talking about this makes me realize how lucky we are to be able to explore.
I agree. It's a privilege to be able to see the world, or even just our own city. We should never take it for granted.
Definitely. So to wrap things up, what's your final thought for today?
I'd say, don't let fear stop you. A new place might be scary, but it's also where all the magic happens. If you stay where you are, you stay who you are. If you want to grow, you have to go.
Wow, if you want to grow, you have to go. You're on fire with the slogans today, Sarah.
I'm trying. What about you? What's your final word?
I'd say be curious. Treat every day like you're a tourist, even if you're just walking to the grocery store. Look up at the buildings, notice the trees, and maybe, just maybe, take a different street. You never know what you'll find.
I love that. Look up. We spend so much time looking down at our phones, we forget to see the world.
Exactly. The world is much more interesting than a screen.
It really is. Well, this has been a wonderful conversation, Mike. I feel like I'm ready to go on an adventure right now.
Me too, but I think we should probably finish our coffee first.
Agreed.
And to all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on Nighttime Mics. We hope you enjoyed our chat about new places.
We really do. If you have a story about a new place that changed your life, or even just a cool spot in your city that you discovered, let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, send us a message or leave a comment. We read all of them.
We'll be back next week with a brand new topic.
Can't wait. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.